On behalf of the International Education Professional Advisory Board for the Reed Center, I'd like to welcome you all here today. I want to take just a moment to introduce my fellow board members. My name is Doug Sessions. My colleagues on the board include Dr. Raj Aggarwal. Raj, would you stand? So everyone can see you. Just briefly. This is Raj. He'll be an honored guest today. Shinal Arwal, no relation.
No relation, yeah.
From India.
Hello.
On the board. Dr. Sharon Brennan. Dr. Brennan is on the faculty at the University of Kentucky. He's been on the board very long, serving member of the board. Mr. Blackburn from Ireland. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see you all here, and I look forward to the opportunity to get to know you.
All right, so I'd just like to welcome you all to the event today. It's a pleasure to see so many people here. Always a great turnout whenever we have events that are associated with the work that we do internationally and events that are connected with the Reed Center specifically. As many of you know, our college has a long and proud history of a visiting scholars program, but the gift and what we're here celebrating today is something that helps to maintain long-term sustainability of this type of program, and it's very important. So I'd like to take this as an opportunity to once again thank Raj and Karen and all those individuals who also contributed towards the challenge to be able to establish the Pushpa Aggarwal Minta Blackburn gift, which resulted in the establishment of the name herein that we have up on the board as the Aggarwal Blackburn Visiting Scholar Program. So again, thank you, Raj, thank Karen, thank everybody who contributed. It's very much appreciated by the college. It's very much appreciated by all of those individuals that you're influencing now and will influence into the future, who have the opportunity to come here, be visiting scholars, and engage with our college and just the great work that we do, our faculty, our staff does, in our internationalization efforts.
And it's our pleasure today to celebrate this gathering of people from, I think, something like 12 countries, really an international board that serves an internationalizing university and who welcomes guests to study and to be here from a variety of ways. We're very pleased to recognize that we have with us, which shows our outreach and our own university's internationalization, our friends from Global Ties, and we have a delegation that is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State's International Visitor Program. Great privilege to say that someone else believes in visiting scholar programs. Raj Aggarwal, who we actually have known each other for 10 or 12 years when he was a visiting professor or an endowed professor in the College of Business here. And then we're active in the Cleveland Council of World Affairs together. And so he joined our board, and then after learning about the Visiting Scholar Program, decided to offer a challenge in our capital campaign last year, and said, I'll donate some money if other people do too. He was being a good board member. And so out of that, now we have an endowment to help sponsor not a person, but the logistics of the support of doing some of the extra things that we do, like helping people come from the airport, or staying the first night when they don't have housing in a hotel, or like we're going to the Amish schools or the communities this week, or whatever that we're going to do, some of those kinds of logistics that can make our program, I think that G said something about the heart and the head, maybe to kind of balance those opportunities. And so, Raj, we'd love to come and hear from you and your wife, and to hear your perspective.
Well, first of all, as a ex-professor, I should mention that G set the stage quite well by talking about the head and the heart. because when you come here to a foreign country, you not only bring your head, you bring your heart also. And when you meet people here, you meet both the head and the heart. It's personal and professional. And Professor Wang said that he didn't like the notion of Kent State being a regional university. Well, you know, when I read that, I said, well, they mean regional in this part of the solar system. So that makes sense to me. But it's a wonderful place, as all of you know. And it's really an honor and a privilege to be able to support the visiting scholars, for my wife Karen and I, both of us. And I'd like to just make a couple of points. First, I'd like to note that intercultural barriers, intercultural benefits of visiting scholars are a two-way street. Sometimes we put up barriers against people from other cultures, and sometimes people from other cultures put barriers up against us. And those barriers are stronger when we don't have any direct personal experience with people from the other culture. So one of the things that I like about the Visiting Scholar program, to be honest, is the fact that they're all, as Linda said, citizen diplomats. And when they come here, they learn about the United States on a first-hand basis. And we learn about their countries on a first-hand basis. And that first-hand knowledge of interacting with somebody from another country is invaluable. They decrease, I think, when we do this enough times, or even once, it decreases the possibility of international misunderstandings. So I think it's a very important part of what we do here for the whole country, for the US and for the world, really. And these interactions that are both personal and professional can often be very mind-expanding. And it forces us to rethink a lot of assumptions we may have had, and a lot of assumptions about the other country and about the other culture. And so I think from that point of view, the visiting scholars sort of provide a two-way exchange of not only do they learn about the United States and its people, but we learn about their countries and their people. So I think in a lot of ways, this visiting scholar business is a two-way street. It's not just us benefiting from them or them benefiting from us. It's a two-way street. And many of these collaborations, as Professor Wang pointed out, that start here, and I'm sure it's the same with personal friendships, continue long after the visiting scholars have gone back to their own countries. So I think that's the long-term aspect of it that also is very close to what I love seeing, as a matter of fact. And I think that the program is not only a great program, it's run by some wonderful folks at the Reed Center. In a few minutes, I'm going to say a little bit more about that. So my wife and I both feel it's a distinct honor to really be able to support this program. Both of us went to Kent State, we are graduates, and we both of us met here, as a matter of fact, on campus. And we've been now married for 42 years, and we have a wonderful daughter who lives in California, by the way. And that's the origin of it. You know, we wanted to do something. And it is dedicated to our mothers, because for a very simple reason. We didn't know that at that time, actually. It's only afterwards we realized that when we met at Kent, we were both raised by mothers that are internationalists, that are globalists. And they imbued us, their children, all of them, with those qualities and those values. And so when we met, we surprisingly discovered that even though we were raised thousands of miles or continents apart, we had a lot of very similar values. And I think that's due to our mothers, basically. And learning those values made it so much easier to fall in love. And it really, I think, so when I think about how my life has turned out, I wanted to make sure that we memorialize our mothers for passing on that internationalist flavor to us. So to end, I would once again like to thank the Reed Center and Kent State University for the opportunity to honor our mothers. And the third point I wanted to make is that the Reed Center is an incredibly important and great resource for Kent State. They are globally known, they have a global reputation, not regional at all, and they bring attention to Kent State and Kent State faculty and Kent State resources and to a region from all over the world. So I've been a member of the board of the Reed Center Advisory Board for about 2 years now. And I've seen amazing progress even in these 2 years. And I was very impressed to begin with in terms of what they were doing when I joined them. And I want to thank all of my fellow Reed Center Advisory Board members, a lot of them who are here, almost all of them, for really helping make the Reed Center a great place. But it wouldn't be, our efforts would be quite worthless, to be honest, as dedicated as we might be, or as smart as we might be, or bring different perspectives. It's a global board, by the way. If it weren't for the director. Linda Robertson is an amazing person. She has the energy of about 10 people, and the creativity of about 4, at least. So without her leadership, the center wouldn't be doing as well as it is doing now. And I'm very impressed with how the center is. So my plea to all of you here is that you please support the Reed Center in any way you can. And talk about it to your friends and acquaintances and people you know all over the world. So it is a gem that you should really be talking about quite a bit. And again, to end, thank you very much for your indulgence and putting up with my crazy talk. Thank you.
And so, Raj, if you would come forward again, we would like to give you this commemorative gift because for all of us who work together on the Visiting Scholar Program, we had all of the visiting scholars who are the regular Aggarwal, Blackburn visiting scholars send you your greetings. And we have a special tradition now that in the tradition of the Indian culture, you know, we use the marigolds. So
Right.
You'll notice the marigolds are around it.
Right.
And at your table, what was left of the marigolds in my garden, they're kind of not so nice, but they're there. So you know that we were thinking special of you and your cultural heritage as we bring you this gift. So if you'll come and we'll... And the GAs run this program. Abdullah had run it for 3 years, and now Semge's taking over. And of course, keeping us all straight is Rose. And then Noel is the one that we work with so closely in OGE to get all of the visas and everything. And so, you know, this is the Visiting Scholar Program that you're supporting. The people who are Aggarwal, Blackburn, visiting scholars in our college, please stand.